A very good morning from Denmark's most northerly peninsula, as well as Denmark's most northerly town, both called Skagen. We're going to take a wander around, see what we can find, and then after that we'll get in the car and make the short drive up to a place called Grenen, which is where two seas collide. It's going to be a good one, so if you're interested in taking a look around Grenen and Skagen, consider joining me. Now before we take a walk around Skagen proper, I just walked past an old brick-built water tower. So I think what we're going to do is see if we can get inside, get a ticket, get to the top and take an aerial view of the town before we walk around it. Let's go. It is only open June, July and August, and it opens between 10 and 4 at the moment. It costs 15 Danish kroner to get in. That is about £2, just over €2. And you have to climb up these wooden steps. It is a hollow tower. You can't see any sign of brick from inside. I should also say that at the time of recording this video, they only accept cash, so no cards. Have to bring some Danish kroners with you. Here we go then. The big reveal. Let's close the door behind me and let's take a look at what we can see. The town started out as a fishing village, and it is still, after all these years, Denmark's main fishing port. In the late 19th century it became popular with a group of painters and artists that later on became known as the Skagen painters. And in 1890 a narrow gauge railway opened that delivered the masses, the tourists, to this part of Denmark, people that wanted to come and see the seascapes and the infrastructure of the fishing industry and the village. And with that, the town grew rapidly in the 1930s, 1940s and 1950s, and at its peak there was about 15,000 people living here, although as of 2024 the population has reduced down to about 7,500 people. The views up here though are magnificent. I can see out in the distance a cruise ship delivering tourists to the town. Tourism, by the way, is the main industry now here in Skagen. I can see a lighthouse, a radar station in the distance, even the quaint cobbled streets and square where I stood just a few moments ago. As promised, we're going for a bit of a walk around now, but I thought I would mention that in the old water tower, it's really interesting because you can see some remnants of the old waterworks inside as you're climbing to the top. I even spotted an old record player. You do not see many of them anymore. walking through what I believe is the main high street, and I keep hearing a lot of American voices, some Brits, and also the odd Australian. So I'm guessing a lot of international tourists come here to Skagen to have a look around and enjoy the town. Last night when I was down here though, it was a different scene. Very, very quiet. All the shops and businesses were closed and there really wasn't all that much going on. Totally different scene now though. Look at all these people. Right, it's turned into a nice day. The sun is shining, so I'm gonna try and find the church. Now, if you were with me in yesterday's video, you'll remember that we visited something called the sand-covered church, a church about 2 to 3 kilometers from here that was abandoned and partially demolished in 1795 because of sand drifts in the area. It was essentially getting buried underneath one of them. Well, the replacement church was built right here. This is Skagen Church. It was completed in 1841 and then expanded in the early 1900s. I'm picking up a theme for this town. It is definitely yellow buildings. This is mostly yellow, looks gorgeous in the sunlight, but it has got a band of pink around the lower section. Okay, hat off, and in we go. What's this door? Timed that well. Had a good look around inside as well, and I think I'm going to head off now and discover a little bit more about this town. I'm just taking a walk now up the eating street, I think it is. Lots of restaurants and bars up here. It's perpendicular to the high street. Nice place to just chill out, I'd imagine, and people watch. One of the coolest spots, I think, in this town are these train tracks that run past the cafes and bars right in the town centre. Now, a little secret, I'm pretty certain that trains don't use these tracks anymore, because when I was down near the harbour a little while ago, I saw some train tracks disappear into the tarmac. So there is no way you're getting a train along it. But it is a nice effect nonetheless. I guess it's an old railway system that they left in when they were redesigning the town. In any event, I am going to now head back to the car. I am going to try and head out to one of the most northerly points of Denmark anyway, and the area where two seas collide. We are going to be getting the drone up in the air with a bit of luck and learning a little bit more about it. So let's get back to the car, jump in it, drive to Grenen, which is 2-3 miles away. We've arrived at the car park anyway. Turns out it is quite the tourist attraction. We've got a lot of parking spaces, and over there is some kind of cafe or bar. There's coach parking in the distance, and I think the hike to it, which is going to take about 20 to 30 minutes, starts in that direction. Excuse the wind, but I'm currently standing on top of a bunker part of the Atlantic Wall defensive system that I talked about in my Bangsbo Fort video a few videos ago now, so check that out if you're interested in the Atlantic Wall. But every time I see one, I do feel like I've got to walk over to it and take a look, maybe try and even get inside. I think there's a few more as I walk up towards the Grenen point. So you can see the edge of it there. I'm currently standing on the roof, which is now just a sandy, grassy area thanks to the migrating sand dunes. That was kind of the starting point. That's where I started. The car park was just the other side of that. There's a bunker over across the other side now, and there's another bunker just up ahead, so we'll go and see if we can walk past that. Here's the edge of the bunker I'm standing on. Crazy area. Now, shall I walk through some of those sand dunes, or should I just take the main path? I'll tell you what though, we've got some Americano going on the sand of Denmark today. We've got the Daytona hat, we've got the Everglades t-shirt, and we've now got the Orlando flip-flops. Yesterday I was on the sand dunes. I don't know if you saw that video, go and check it out if you didn't, but my trainers and socks were full of sand. I reckon I must have taken half a dune with me when I left yesterday. It took me half an hour to get it all out, so today I'm not making the same mistake and we got the flip-flops going on. So this is one of those bunkers I was talking about. It's been graffitied over a little bit now, but no access inside, plenty of rubble around it. And as I come around here, you will want to see this. Look at that. Are we in the Caribbean? There is an incredible white sand beach all the way down to the end there. That's the way we're going. So whilst I'm walking up here, I thought I would say that the parking in most places so far on this Danish road trip has been free, but I guess because this is a super touristy area, it is chargeable. So the main car park that I just parked in costs 15 Danish kroner an hour. That's about £1.70 sterling, or about €2. And I decided to put 2 hours on the car, so about £3.40 sterling, just to save me from having to run all the way back if time starts getting away from me, which it usually does. And whilst we're here, what an incredible, magnificent beach. I've been walking along here now for perhaps 20 minutes, and the sky is blue. There's a few clouds up there, but nothing major. It's a beautiful day, cool breeze, but definitely warm in the sun, and the sea looks magnificent. Unfortunately, I've chosen a part here where there are stones, but for most of the walk there hasn't been any stones. Let's just see what the temperature's like. Haven't felt this yet. Oh yeah, it's a little cool, but not too bad. Not too bad at all. I probably would go for a swim, and maybe I will later on in this trip. I have brought my swimming bits and pieces, so who knows. Right, we're getting close now. The people are flocking to that area just ahead of me, so I guess that's where we better head. Well, just behind me you can see people congregating around that point, and that's because this is why people come out here. This is the point where two seas collide in a quite turbulent way. The Skagerrak, which is to my right here, and then the Kattegat, which is to my left. And at this point, both of them hit each other and create some incredibly harsh currents. So it's advised that you do not swim out there. That's why you see nobody out swimming. Behind me is the Sandmobile. That's just brought some people up here that couldn't walk. And around me, let me show you the incredible place. Excuse the wind, it is crazy, crazy windy. But that is currently where I am. Magnificent to be here. Here it is, you can see the colliding waves coming from two different directions. Lots of people having their photographs taken. The sea is actually, you get used to it after you've had your feet in for a little bit, so it's definitely swimmable. But let me show you something along here. And would you believe it? We've got a little seal pup there right in front of me, trying to climb further onto the beach. Well, you never know what you're going to find in Denmark. What a place. Right, my next challenge is to get back to the car and then drive to another town called Herschels, which is where I am staying tonight, but I'm going to put that adventure in a separate video, so consider joining me for the next leg of the road trip, and hopefully the North Jutland road trip will continue and I'll see you there. Thanks for watching.